Welcome to our deep dive into the world of trading psychology.
Oh, yes.
We're going to be pulling from Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas
Okay.
to kind of get at this question of what really separates those consistently successful traders from everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just raw intelligence?
Yeah.
Is it some sort of analytical superpower?
Yeah.
Or, is there some secret formula out there that only they know?
Yeah, like a cheat sheet or something.
Exactly.
Right.
But the answer might surprise you.
Okay.
It's actually none of those things.
Okay.
The real key differentiator
Mm-hmm.
is what Douglas calls the trader's mindset.
Okay.
It's not necessarily about being smarter or having, some incredible ability to analyze charts.
Mm.
It's more about developing a unique set of attitudes
Okay.
that allow you to stay disciplined,
Right.
focused,
Okay.
and confident,
Okay.
even when the market feels like it's completely out of control.
So it's less about the numbers and more about managing your emotions.
Precisely.
Think of it this way. The market is kind of like a mirror,
Okay.
reflecting back at us all of our internal hopes and fears and beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Douglas actually shares an interesting story about a futures broker
Okay.
who jokingly but truthfully calls all commodity traders terminal.
Terminal.
Yeah,
That sounds a little intense.
I know, right?
What does he mean by that?
Well, his point is that traders either lose their money,
Right.
or if they do find success,
Hmm.
they often end up losing it anyway
Oh, wow.
because their winning streaks create this kind of false sense of security.
Okay.
They start to get reckless,
Uh-huh.
and eventually, the market catches up to them.
So even success can be dangerous if it's not managed properly.
Exactly.
It's like that feeling of invincibility you get when you're on a winning streak.
Right?
But then one bad trade wipes out all your gains.
Yeah, that's the paradox Douglas explores in the book.
Okay.
Trading can feel deceptively easy when you're winning,
Right.
but that ease can be very fleeting. So mastering this mental game is what truly separates the consistently profitable traders from everyone else.
Okay. So we need to avoid this terminal outcome.
Right.
How do we develop this winning mindset and avoid falling into that trap of overconfidence?
Well, Douglas identifies what he calls the 4 primary trading fears that hold most traders back.
Okay.
These are the fear of being wrong,
Mm.
the fear of losing money,
Okay.
the fear of missing out,
Right.
and the fear of leaving money on the table.
Those fears seem pretty rational to me, though. If I'm putting my hard-earned money on the line,
Uh-huh.
I'm bound to experience those emotions.
Right?
So why are they so detrimental to trading success?
Well, because they can lead to self-sabotage.
Okay.
For example, let's take the fear of missing of FOMO, as it's often called.
Right, FOMO.
Yeah.
Everyone knows FOMO.
You see stocks surging higher.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah,
You suddenly feel this urge to get in on the action.
right, that urgency.
That's when you're most vulnerable. Because you might end up buying at the peak just before the market turns.
So it's not just about acknowledging these fears.
Right.
It's about recognizing how they can really distort our perception
Yeah.
and lead us to making those bad decisions.
Exactly. And another common pitfall is this illusion of certainty.
Yeah.
Many traders fall into this trap of thinking that if they can just, find the right indicator or crunch enough numbers,
Yeah,
they can somehow eliminate risk and guarantee profits.
it's like searching for a crystal ball.
Right.
That's going to predict the market's every move.
Exactly.
Were you there?
But here's the thing.
Okay.
The market is a dynamic system
Okay.
influenced by countless variables,
Hmm.
including, the actions and beliefs of every single trader out there.
Wow. So everyone's kind of impacting the market in their own little way.
Yeah, and Douglas calls these hidden variables.
Hidden variable.
Yeah.
Okay.
The unknown forces that are always operating in the market,
Mhm.
making true certainty virtually impossible.
I see. So no matter how much analysis we do,
Yeah.
there's always going to be something we can't account for.
Right. And it only takes one trader somewhere in the world
Wow.
acting on their own unique beliefs
Okay.
to kind of, change the course of a market pattern.
Wow, that's really interesting.
I know.
That one person can make a difference.
Yeah. And it reminds me of that story Douglas tells about the seasoned market analyst
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
who presented this guaranteed trading strategy to a company chairman.
Yeah, and the chairman just asked him.
If you're so sure, why are you here asking me for money?
Yeah, exactly.
It perfectly illustrates that even with, extensive analysis, the market can always throw a curveball.
So we just have to accept that we'll never have the complete picture.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah, it's about recognizing the limits of analysis
Okay.
and becoming comfortable with the inherent uncertainty of the market.
So embracing uncertainty is key.
It is.
It's not about abandoning analysis altogether. It's about understanding its limitations and accepting that market outcomes are ultimately probabilistic.
Exactly. It's a fundamental shift in perspective
Right.
that can have a huge impact on your trading.
Okay, so we've talked about certainty being an illusion
Yeah.
and that we need to master our emotions.
Yeah.
But where do our beliefs fit into all of this?
Ah, good question.
How do they influence our trading decisions?
Well, Douglas uses a powerful analogy to explain the impact of deeply ingrained beliefs.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
He compares them to software code,
Okay.
where even a single misplaced character
Mhm.
can crash an entire system.
So just like a tiny bug can bring down a complex program,
Right.
a flawed belief about trading can sabotage our success.
That's it.
Okay.
He tells another great story to illustrate this point
Okay.
about a trader who was absolutely terrified of snakes.
Mm-hmm.
He just assumed his young daughter would inherit that same fear.
Yeah, right.
But to his surprise,
Uh-huh.
the little girl was fascinated by snakes because she didn't have any pre-existing negative beliefs.
Right. She had no reason to be afraid.
Exactly.
I see the connection.
Yeah.
Just like that child with the snake.
Yeah.
We often project our own fears and assumptions onto the market.
That's it.
Okay.
And those fears and assumptions can
Yeah.
lead to missed opportunities and poor decisions.
So the key is to identify
Right.
and challenge any limiting beliefs
Yeah.
that might be preventing us from seeing opportunities clearly.
Exactly.
Okay, so we need to challenge those limiting beliefs,
Yeah.
embrace uncertainty,
Mhm.
and move away from this need for certainty.
Right.
But what does it actually look like to think in probabilities when it comes to trading?
That's where Douglas introduces his 5 fundamental truths of trading.
5 fundamental truths.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a framework for developing this probabilistic mindset.
Okay.
These are the core principles that can really transform your trading approach.
All right, lay them on me.
Number 1, anything can happen. Number 2, you don't need to know what's going to happen next in order to make money.
Okay.
Number 3, there is a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge.
Okay.
Number 4, an edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another.
Okay.
And number 5, every moment in the market is unique.
Wow. Okay. Lots to unpack there.
I know, right?
Let's dive into these truths one by one.
Sounds good.
The first one, anything can happen,
Yeah.
seems pretty straightforward. But what are the practical implications for traders?
Well, this truth reminds us to always consider the unexpected.
Okay.
It encourages us to accept that the market can move in ways we haven't anticipated,
Okay.
no matter how thorough our analysis might be.
So no matter how much research we do,
Right.
how many charts we look at,
Exactly.
there's always a chance for something unexpected to happen.
Exactly.
So it's about staying open to possibilities
Yeah.
and recognizing that we can't control everything,
Right.
even with a solid plan.
Precisely.
Welcome back. I hope you've had a chance to think about those 5 fundamental truths
Yeah,
that we're talking about.
absolutely.
It's pretty mind-blowing how much our beliefs and mindset really influence our trading
It is.
decisions, isn't it?
It really is. And to kind of show you just how powerful this shift in thinking can be,
Okay.
Douglas highlights the example of a consistently successful trader.
All right. I'm all ears. What sets this trader apart?
Well, this trader doesn't waste time, trying to predict the market's every move
Right.
or searching for some impossible guarantee of success.
Okay.
They understand that the market is inherently uncertain,
Mhm.
and they've fully integrated those 5 fundamental truths into their mental framework.
So they're not like stressing about things they can't control.
Exactly.
Like you know which way the market will move next, or
Right.
you know what the Fed's going to do.
Yeah, they're not fighting the market
Okay.
or getting caught up in that emotional roller coaster. Instead, they're focused on what they can control,
Okay.
identifying their edges,
Mm-hmm.
predefining their risk,
Uh-huh.
and executing their trades with calm precision.
It sounds like they've achieved kind of a Zen-like state
Yeah,
of their trading.
it's a good way to put it.
You know, they're in sync with the market's flow.
Right.
They're accepting, both wins and losses as part of the process.
Exactly. They're not attached to specific outcomes
I'm okay.
or, driven by fear.
Right.
They understand that losses are inevitable,
Uh-huh.
and they don't let those losses derail their strategy.
This kind of resonates with that idea that trading is ultimately a numbers game, right?
Absolutely.
It's about the long-term probability of success,
Yes,
not necessarily winning every single trade.
that's it. And this brings us to a crucial point.
Okay.
The difference between consistently successful traders
Mm-hmm.
and those who struggle.
Okay.
Douglas observes that unsuccessful traders often get caught up in this never-ending quest for certainty,
Oh, yeah. I've been there.
poring over, market analysis, trying to find that holy grail of prediction.
Yeah, trying to crack the code.
Exactly.
Convinced that if I can just find the right, system or an indicator that I can eliminate risk and just guarantee profits.
It's like chasing a mirage.
It is.
Right. But here's the catch.
Okay.
This obsession with prediction actually blinds them to the very principles that could lead to consistent success.
How so?
Well, they're so focused on being right
Oh.
that they miss opportunities, they hesitate to cut losses,
Mm-hmm.
and ultimately they sabotage their own performance.
So it's almost like they're trying to fit the market into a neat little box
Yeah.
instead of adapting to its, ever-changing nature.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks.
And there's this specific mistake that many traders make
Okay.
that perfectly illustrates this need for certainty,
What's that?
not predefining their risk before entering a trade.
This seems like such a fundamental principle.
It is
Why do you think so many traders skip this crucial step?
because they've convinced themselves that they already know what's going to happen.
Oh, so they think the trade is a sure winner.
Yeah.
So defining risk seems kind of unnecessary.
Right. It's that emotional attachment to being right again.
Okay.
It blinds them to the potential for things to go wrong.
So they're basically saying, like, I know exactly who's in this market,
Right.
what they believe, and how they're going to act. So I don't even need to worry about being wrong.
Exactly.
But that's such a dangerous assumption,
It is.
right? We talked about those hidden variables.
Yeah.
The market's influenced by countless factors they can't possibly know or control.
And that's why the ability to predefine risk is so crucial.
Okay.
It's about acknowledging the inherent uncertainty of the market
Okay.
and protecting yourself from that emotional and financial fallout of being wrong.
So instead of seeking certainty,
Yeah.
which we know is an illusion,
Right.
we should be preparing for the unexpected.
Yes, exactly.
It sounds like a real mental shift is needed to actually make this happen.
It is. And that shift involves embracing this probabilistic mindset.
Okay.
Remember those 5 fundamental truths?
Yeah.
Those provide the perfect framework for this new way of thinking.
Okay, so let's revisit those truths.
Sure.
And see how they can help us predefine risk more effectively.
Okay.
That first one, anything can happen,
Yeah.
reminds us that no trade is a guaranteed winner,
Right.
no matter how strong our conviction might be.
Exactly. Accepting this truth allows us to detach from that need to be right
Okay.
and create a plan for managing potential losses.
So it encourages us to ask ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
what if I'm wrong?
Yeah,
And prepare for that possibility.
exactly.
The second truth, you don't need to know what's going to happen next to make money.
Yeah.
Also supports this idea, right?
It does.
It frees us from that burden of prediction
Right.
and allows us to focus on what we can control.
Precisely, we can let go of that need to control the market's every move. And instead, just focus on identifying and acting on edges with a clear exit strategy in place.
And this ties into the third truth, right? There's a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge.
Yes.
Knowing this,
Yeah.
we can accept that losses are just part of the process,
Right.
even when we have a solid edge.
Exactly. And that acceptance makes it easier to define our risk objectively.
Okay,
We're not emotionally attached to the outcome of any single trade
right.
because we're focused on that long-term probability.
It's about trusting the process
Yes.
rather than chasing those individual wins.
Exactly. The fourth truth. An edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another.
Right.
Reminds us that even our best analysis is just that, an indication.
Okay.
It doesn't guarantee a specific outcome.
So we need to define our risk based on, the potential for the market to move against our position,
Right.
even if we feel super confident in our analysis.
Exactly. And finally, that fifth truth, every moment in the market is unique.
Yes.
Emphasizes the need to stay adaptable.
Okay.
Just because a particular edge worked in the past doesn't mean it'll unfold in the same way this time.
So we need to be prepared to adjust our risk parameters.
Yes.
Based on the current market conditions, even if it means, deviating from our initial plan.
Precisely. It's about staying present,
Okay.
observing the market's feedback,
Hmm.
and making adjustments as needed
Right.
to protect ourselves from those unexpected moves.
So it's about flexibility and adaptability,
Yes,
not rigidly sticking to a plan that might not be relevant anymore.
exactly. By integrating these 5 truths into our trading approach,
Okay.
we can actually transform this act of predefining risk from a chore into a strategic advantage.
It's about shifting our focus from avoiding losses to managing them effectively.
Right, and this shift in perspective can have a profound impact
Okay.
on our trading performance by accepting the uncertainty and embracing a probabilistic mindset.
Yeah.
We can free ourselves from that emotional roller coaster that so often derails traders.
It's about creating that sense of calm amidst the chaos of the market.
Exactly. And this calm allows us to make clearer decisions,
Okay.
execute our trades with confidence,
Uh-huh.
and ultimately achieve the consistency we all seek.
Yeah, that consistency is key.
It is, but remember,
Okay.
integrating these truths
Yeah.
takes time and effort.
Right.
It's not just about understanding the concepts intellectually, but about developing a deep, intuitive grasp
Okay.
of their practical implications.
So it's a journey, not a destination.
It is, and this journey involves not only changing our beliefs about the market,
Yeah.
but also addressing any underlying fears or limiting beliefs that we might hold about ourselves as traders.
That's an important point.
It is.
Our beliefs about ourselves can be just as impactful as our beliefs about the market.
Absolutely. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemies.
Yeah, that's true.
And this leads us to a powerful exercise that's
Okay.
outlined in Douglas's book
Right.
that can really help solidify our belief in those 5 fundamental truths
Okay.
and transform our trading approach.
All right, I'm ready. Tell me about this exercise. What's involved?
Douglas calls it the mechanical stage of trading.
Okay.
Essentially, it involves treating your trading system like a casino operates.
Okay.
You identify your edges,
Mm-hmm.
you predefine your risk for every trade,
Okay.
and then you commit to taking every single trade
Wow.
that meets your criteria,
Every single one.
without exception.
Wow. So it's about removing emotion from the equation.
Yeah.
And just executing trades with robotic precision.
Exactly. It's about trusting the system and the probabilities,
Okay.
not second-guessing yourself
Right.
or trying to outsmart the market.
This sounds challenging,
It can be,
but intriguing.
but it's worth it.
What are some of the benefits of this approach?
Well, there are several.
Okay.
First, it helps you build self-trust. By consistently following your rules, you develop discipline and confidence in your ability to execute your strategy.
So it's like proving to yourself that you can stick to the plan,
Yeah,
even when it feels uncomfortable.
exactly. And that self-trust is absolutely essential for
Right on.
navigating the emotional ups and downs of trading.
Right. Because there are a lot of ups and downs.
There are.
Okay, what else?
Second, it strengthens your belief in probabilities.
Okay.
By taking every trade that meets your criteria, you allow that random distribution of wins and losses to play out naturally.
So it's about letting go of that need to control the outcome
Right.
of each individual trade
Yeah.
and trusting those long-term odds.
Exactly. And as you witness those probabilities unfold in real time,
Yep.
your belief in the system gets stronger and your fear starts to diminish.
So it's like a positive feedback loop.
It is.
Okay, what's the third benefit?
The third benefit is that it helps you pinpoint any underlying conflicts or limiting beliefs that might be sabotaging your performance.
That's interesting. How does it do that?
Well, by committing to this mechanical approach, you're essentially forcing those hidden conflicts to the surface.
Okay.
Any hesitation you feel,
Right.
any second guessing,
Right.
or any attempts to deviate from the plan,
Okay.
these all point to areas where your beliefs aren't yet aligned
Okay.
with the principles of probabilistic thinking.
So it's like holding a mirror up to your own mind.
Exactly. And once you've identified those conflicts,
Yeah.
you can start to address them.
Okay, how do we do that?
Well, Douglas recommends writing down those 5 fundamental truths
Okay.
and the 7 principles of consistency.
7 principles of consistency. We'll have
Yeah.
to dive into those another time.
We will.
Okay.
But keep those in front of you as you trade
Okay.
and repeat them to yourself frequently.
So it's about consciously reinforcing those new beliefs until they become second nature.
Precisely. And this process can be challenging, but the rewards are immense.
Okay.
As you consistently act in alignment with these principles,
Mm-hmm.
you'll experience a profound shift in your mindset.
Okay.
Trading will become less stressful,
Right.
more effortless, and ultimately more profitable.
It's about achieving that Zen-like state that we were talking about earlier, where you're
Yes.
just in sync with the market and free from that emotional turmoil.
Right. It's about trading from a place of calm confidence
Okay.
rather than fear and uncertainty.
It's the goal.
It is, and this is truly the foundation for consistent trading success.
Awesome.
But remember,
Okay.
this is just the beginning of the journey.
Okay, there's more.
Once you've mastered this mechanical stage,
Mm-hmm.
you can move on to the subjective and intuitive stages of trading.
Subjective and intuitive.
Yes.
Okay.
Which allow for more flexibility and creativity
All right.
within a solid framework.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
I know, right?
Tell me more about these advanced stages of trading. What does that even look like?
Well, that's a story for another deep dive.
Oh, man.
But for now,
Okay.
I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
As you reflect on this mechanical approach, consider this: what aspects of your current trading style
Okay.
might be in conflict with the principles of objective identification,
Okay.
predefined risk, and unwavering execution?
That's a great question to ponder.
It is.
It encourages us to take a hard look at our trading habits
Yeah.
and see where we might be getting in our own way.
And that self-awareness is the first step
Okay.
towards real transformation.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that the power to change our results lies not in predicting the market,
Okay.
but in mastering our own minds.
Welcome back to our deep dive into trading psychology.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
It really has.
Right.
We've uncovered so much
We have.
about what makes those successful traders tick. And it's not just about the technical stuff.
No. It's really about mastering that mental game.
That's the key.
And I think we're ready to explore another layer of this.
Okay.
The power of our beliefs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Douglas dedicates a big chunk of Trading in the Zone to this,
Okay.
to unpacking the nature of beliefs, how they're formed, and how they really impact our actions in the market.
Okay. I'm ready to go deeper down this rabbit hole.
All right, let's do it.
I've always been fascinated by how our beliefs shape our reality.
It's a powerful concept.
Tell me more about how this plays out in trading.
Well, think of beliefs as the mental software that runs our lives.
Okay.
They influence how we perceive the world, how we interpret information, how we make decisions, even how we react emotionally.
So it's like this underlying operating system.
It is.
That's driving everything we do.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is we're not born with these beliefs.
Okay.
We acquire them
Okay.
through our experiences and interactions with the world.
So they're learned responses.
Exactly.
Yeah. And as Douglas points out, the beliefs that often cause us the most trouble are the ones we picked up early in life,
Okay.
often without even realizing it.
Interesting.
They become deeply ingrained in our subconscious.
So they're like these programs running in the background,
Right.
shaping our behavior without us even being aware of it.
Exactly.
You know, I've definitely noticed this in my own trading.
Yeah.
Sometimes I catch myself reacting to market events in ways that don't make logical sense.
Right.
And then I realize it's because of some underlying fear
Yeah.
or belief that I haven't really fully addressed.
That's a great observation. And this disconnect between our conscious understanding and our subconscious programming can be a major roadblock to consistent success in trading.
Remember that story about the trader who was terrified of snakes?
Yes, classic example.
And his daughter had no fear because she hadn't developed those negative beliefs yet?
That story illustrates perfectly how powerful our beliefs can be
Okay.
in filtering our reality.
Okay.
We see what we believe, and that shapes our actions.
So if we have this deep-seated belief
Yeah.
that trading is inherently risky or that we're just not cut out for success,
Right.
those beliefs are going to influence how we interpret market information
Yeah, it will.
and ultimately how we trade.
Exactly. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, we might miss out on great opportunities,
Right.
hesitate when we should be taking action, or even sabotage our own winning trades
Yeah.
because of these unconscious
It's
beliefs.
like we're working against ourselves.
It is.
Right.
So if we recognize that we have these limiting beliefs,
Yeah.
how do we actually break free from them?
That's the key question. And the good news is we can change them.
We can.
Yes, but it takes awareness,
Okay.
effort,
Yeah.
and a willingness to challenge our existing thought patterns.
Okay.
Douglas offers some practical strategies. Right.
For this process of transformation, the first step is awareness.
So shining a light on those subconscious programs,
Exactly.
and bringing them into the light of our conscious awareness.
That's step one.
Okay, once we're aware of those beliefs, how do we start to question them?
One powerful technique is to examine the evidence,
Okay.
both for and against the belief.
So like putting the belief on trial,
Yeah.
weighing the evidence to see if it holds up.
That's a great way to think about it.
Okay.
Ask yourself, what evidence supports this belief?
Okay.
What evidence contradicts it?
Uh-huh.
And often when we do this,
Okay.
we discover that our limiting beliefs are based on outdated information,
Okay.
limited experiences, or even just plain fear.
It's like clinging to a story
Right.
that no longer serves us.
Exactly. And once we see that the belief isn't really true, or at least not serving us anymore, we can start to let it go.
So awareness is key.
It is.
Okay, what else? Another powerful strategy is to create new empowering beliefs that support our goals.
So replacing those old negative beliefs
Right.
with new positive ones
Exactly.
that align with who we want to be as traders.
That's the idea.
Okay, how do we do that?
We can do this through affirmations,
Okay.
visualizations, and by consciously choosing to focus on evidence
Okay.
that supports our desired beliefs.
So if I'm struggling with the fear of loss, for example,
Uh,
I could start focusing on my past successes
yeah.
and use those experiences to build a belief
Right.
in my ability to manage risk and overcome setbacks.
Exactly. It's about rewiring our brains for success.
Okay.
Training our minds to focus on what we want
Right.
rather than what we fear.
And while changing deeply rooted beliefs takes time,
It does.
the rewards are worth it.
They are.
Right.
And remember, it's not just about changing our thoughts.
Okay.
It's about aligning our actions with our new beliefs.
So it's not enough to just think positive thoughts.
Right.
We have to act in ways that support those new beliefs.
Exactly. It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
I like that.
And the more consistently we act in alignment with our desired beliefs, the stronger those beliefs become.
It's like building a muscle.
It is.
The more we use it, the stronger it gets.
Exactly. And this applies not only to our beliefs about ourselves as traders, but also to those 5 fundamental truths we discussed earlier.
Right. So by consistently acting on edges, predefining our risk, and accepting that random distribution of wins and losses, we're putting those truths into practice.
Exactly. And as we see the positive results of this approach, our belief in those truths naturally strengthens.
It becomes less of an intellectual concept and more of an embodied experience.
That's it. And this is where the real magic happens.
Okay.
As we align our beliefs with the reality of the market, trading becomes less stressful, more intuitive, and ultimately much more enjoyable.
That's what we all want, right?
We do.
To enjoy the process.
Yeah.
This has been an incredible journey.
It has.
A real deep dive into the psychology of trading.
We covered a lot of ground.
We explored the paradoxes of trading, the power of a trader's mindset, the importance of embracing uncertainty, those 5 fundamental truths, the role of beliefs in shaping our success,
Absolutely.
and even some practical techniques for transforming our limiting beliefs.
Oh, it's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
Likewise.
And remember, the real journey begins now.
Okay.
It's time to take these insights and apply them to your own trading.
Right.
Start by identifying those limiting beliefs that might be holding you back, and then use those strategies we talked about to challenge and transform them. Embrace the uncertainty. Focus on what you can control, and trust the process.
And if you've been inspired by what you've heard today, I highly recommend picking up a copy of Trading in the Zone.
Great book.
By Mark Douglas.
Absolutely.
And just diving deeper into these concepts.
It's a game changer for sure.
It really is. And remember, the path to trading mastery starts within.
It does.
Until next time, happy trading.